Alright, so our slider is done. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, well, we might as well knock out this happy hour. And, well, what is it here? Looks like a 3-column grid. Doesn't look like it. That's exactly what it is. It looks like we did the exact same thing with the button that we did in the nav bar to open and close that. So that's that. A little header up top. So looks like we're going to hide a 3-column grid. These look like cards to me. Looks like an image. A div up top with an image. Div down the bottom with a little bit of information. And let's see what they're doing. We got movement and opacity change. So we're coming in from X, opacity, and they're staggering. They're not all coming in at the same time. There's a little bit of a stagger. See it here. See it there. I want to know why it was jumping. Why is that jumping? I'll have to work on that. Anyway. Okay, stop jumping. Alright. I was just closing it before it was done. Okay. So, let's take a look here. Let's go over to our project. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to the home. Okay, so this is where we left off as far as the home page is going. Okay, so that's done. Let's take a look at our editor. Here we are. We're out of here. Let's close you down. Get rid of index. Let me close all this out and figure out where I'm at here. Okay, components. Alright, well, we know we're going to be working in the home. Alright, well, the first time we need those cards. We're going to need 6 of them. So we might as well create a file. Call it happy card for happy hour. Happy card. .js. Let's hit enter. You guys will put RAFCE. Just make sure you put in your wrap and your const. It's happy hour, and I'm here. So just make sure you import style div if you just did a regular functional component. Use the convention we've been doing wrap. Get your const in there. Style div. Make sure you split 2 backticks, or nothing's going to work. That way we can style it right in here. Well, what is our card? Well, we know we got a div. We might as well the outside div. We'll call that H card, right, for happy hour card. Inside that, we're going to have an image. So let's call that card image. I got a dog barking in the background here. That's all right. And inside there, we're going to have an image. Put that over. We're going to have a different source for each one. It's a reusable card. It's a component, so we can't hard code it, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to pass the props to it, and we might as well call that source. And well, we might as well call that. Of course, that's not going to work that way. It'll work a little bit better this way. And we'll call that alt. And so that takes care of the top of our card. Down here, we might as well go, we'll call this card description. Let's do a card description. Whatever you want. You can just do, I don't know, C, D, E, S, C. Doesn't matter. Inside of that, we're going to have an H1. Then we're going to have an H2. And enter, and then I guess we're going to have 2 P's. So we might as well do 2 paragraphs. Enter, and we'll do 1 more. Otherwise, we won't have everything we need. And we might as well call this title, right, for the day of the week. We'll go title. Might as well call this one here subtitle. And what do we have next? I guess call it description or DESCR, however you want to do it. And the last one, we got a price, right? While we're at it, might as well, we know we need these props, so we might as well pass them over. We got a source, we got an alt, we got our price. What else we got? We got a title, we got a subtitle. Or we need, and a description. Alright, I got them all. I might as well make it look a little bit better. It's alright, that's not going to make it look any better. It's going to make it look worse. Subtitle, description. Obviously, I spelled it wrong. Description, DESCRRIPTN. What the hell is the problem here? What do we got going here? Oh, I see what we got going here. But you guys already knew that. All right. So there's our card. And we're going to need a place to put it, so we'll do that in 1 second. But I'm just going to copy over the CSS. You don't want to watch me do this shit, I'm sure of it. Snowing out here again. Let me just copy that over, walk you through it, although I'm sure it makes complete sense to you. You guys are geniuses. You don't drink as often as I do. All right, well, it's 100%. It's not 100 VW because we wanted 100% of the grid container it's in. You know, the first column, second column, whatever it's going to be. There are 3 equal columns, but you wanted 100% of that, not 100% of the width like we normally do with a wrap. The card image, 100%. Height, flex, center. Image is 90, just for a little padding, without putting padding. Height, auto, card description, 100, yep, auto, 5, each one. All this stuff you can do on your own. You don't care, make it any color you want. Text center, blah, blah, blah. And just a media query so that you can see what it looks like on a mobile device. All right, well, we got that done. So we need a place to put it, right? So let's create another file. Let's call this, we'll just call this happy hour. .js. Enter that. That's going to be the same thing, at least for me. Make sure you pull in style components. Get your wrap, just like the other one. Set up your const with your style div, and we should be good to go. Well, let's take a look here. We got a div. We got, just like before, we got a little button box. And this I gotta center this. We've got a little button box here, just like we did on the nav. So the top's gonna be almost the exact same thing we did on nav. So we'll do another button box, and we'll do a grid. So let's go back over here. Let's go. We might as well call it H button box, right? Tap that. We're gonna have 2 buttons in there, and we might as well name them now, right? One's gonna be closed, one's gonna be open. Button, we'll go data, we'll call it H close. Tab that over. And might as well go button dot H open. Okay, might as well put here close me. I'm trying to think if we need to, well, you know what? We'll put in and this will be open me. We'll do the on-click and everything after we do the GSAP so that we can talk about it while we're doing it. And to me, that might make it a little bit easier. And then under here, well, what do we got? We got the actual grid. So H grid sounds good to me. Have that over. And what are we putting it in there? Well, we just made the card, right? We want 6 of them. So we might as well put those right in there. Happy card. Might as well make 6 of them. 6. If we're using it, we got to import it. So let's import it. Import happy card. Where's that from? Well, we're in the same thing. There it is. Look at that. Just the way we wrote it up. Let's give ourselves a little space up here. Okay, now, well, what do we need? Happy card. Well, let's go take a look at it. We already know what we need, right? We need a source, an alt, a price, a title, and a description. So, for each one, I'm not going to do it, but you would come in here. Where are we here? Let's get over here. Well, you're going to need a source. You're going to need something there, right? You're going to need an alt. You're going to need a title. And that's for each one, right? I'm not going to do it right now. I'll tell you that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it and paste it in here. So I've already done it once. And, well, that's what it is. You got your source. Tap this guy over. You got your source. You got your title. You got your subtitle for the drink. You got your price for the price. The description, it doesn't matter the order. We got a description. Sweet vermouth, larceny bourbon, bitters. That is not a Lynchburg lemonade. Well, they're all the same. That happens to be a Manhattan. A delicious, wonderful drink. Okay, well, this is all coded. Once you put that in, you can put whatever you want. You can pause it if you want, or you can make up your own. Well, we're using images. We didn't import any, so well, let's import them. What do I use? 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So let's go import image 3 from. We got gotta get out of there. We're going on to images. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing it like that. We're gonna go. We'll do that so we can find it. We'll do it the right way. We're gonna tab it. It's under cocktails, and I wish they would come up, but they never do. So what have we got to do? We got to come over here under cocktails and take a look at what we got. What's the first one? Well, let's do this. Let's do this first. Yeah, let's just make 6 of them. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're using 3, 4. Hang on, I got to turn up some music. It's driving me crazy here. All right, so we're using 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are obviously using all our relative paths. So what is 3? 3 is Lynchburg Lemonade. I think I wrote them all exactly the way they are. No camel case, Lynchburg, Manhattan Martini. Yes, so this should be simple enough. We'll go Lynchburg. Did I write lemonade? Nope. And they're all JPEGs. Alright. Lynchburg, what's the second one? Well, I'm down here looking. This is 4, right? I might as well just go like this. Copy it. Right? So I've already decided. All I got to do is add the JPEG to it, right? Old fashioned. Obviously, you're going to have to take out that space. But it's written, so let's get rid of that. Probably quicker to just type it. That's alright. Because it's snowing again where I am. And I'm loving it. Sazerac, which are absolutely delicious. I could go for one of these right now. Actually, I could go for about 3 of them, but that's either here or there. All right. Actually, nope. Let me pass up on that Sazerac. I'd rather go with a whiskey smash. Sorry, guys. I've bartended for years and years and years in my spare time. It's where I get my socialization. And of course, I'm forgetting .jpeg on all of these because that's what I do. Sure, you guys must be watching these things just yelling at me constantly. Alright, and Martini, I think we got everything spelled right and put in the right spot. I'm not really sure. Let me take a look. Images, images, images. We got everything there. We got all of that. We got all of that. We got to close me. Blah, 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 blah. Now let's get our CSS and our grid. Walk you through that really quick. Nothing special. Just bang this shit out. Okay, well, what are we doing? Well, we want the container to hold the whole wrap that has the button box up top that we see, and the stuff that we're hiding. We want that to be 100% of the width. Auto, black background. I don't think that, yeah, it does matter. The grid, margin 0 auto. The width, just so we have a little margin on the side so you can see the black behind the blue, because here's our background of blue. All right, we got a grid column, 3 rows. Justify the content in the center. Okay, we got our button. With flex, I got the background, margins, blah, blah. You can mess around with all that stuff. I just threw it in there. Button, you did Z, outline none. You can put that miles outline in if you want, but it doesn't matter. So, all right, well, hopefully that all makes sense. Let's go see how we're looking here. Yeah, well, of course, we're not going to see anything, right? Why? Well, we got to put it in our project. Which I do constantly. Index. So let's go. Goes under here. We'll go. Happy hour. If I tab it over, it should self-import. It's supposed to. Well, we're going to find out if we got lucky. Hey, it worked. All right. If yours doesn't self-import, import on its own. Make sure you get that in. Make sure it's there. Let's see how this is working. So, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, how is that possible? Happy hour, components, homepage, happy card. Well, happy card. What did I do here? What did I do? Happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. And I don't have any errors. Happy hour. What in the hell? Oh, I didn't do it, actually. I didn't do it. It pulled this in for me anyway. Happy hour. And of course, fails to compile. Jesus, heavens almighty. What is going on here? Okay, happy hour. Happy hour. The homepage. Happy hour. Okay, so what is the problem here? Well, let's see what it says. That would help, huh, Matt? What do you think? Cocktails, martini. Oh, I know why. It is not martini, and hopefully you guys caught that. It is martini 2, and I was thinking about it while I was typing it. That should do it, and it does. Okay, so we got our buttons, and we got our grid laid out the way we want it when we open it, so everything's positioned the way we want, right? You agree? I guess you could put a little of more of a gap here. Put a little grid gap here. Grid, yeah, maybe a grid row gap. Yeah, I don't even know, 20 pixels, I'm not going to bother. I think I'll do it later. Okay, so, well, anyway, so like I'm saying, we're going to want this to close when we open it, so we want it to say close here, so that's perfect the way we want it. So this is the way we position it, and how GSAP, what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact opposite, and then we'll put this little happy hour in there. So, well, let's go back. Let's take a look at what we got here. Well, we know we're going to have to bring in our use effect, right? We need our hook, and we know we're going to need GSAP, right? So we might as well import that. Import GSAP, and that's from GSAP, which is always nice. And then, well, we can't put it up here, right? It's got to be inside of our function, or we're going to get bounced. So let's go down, and well, let's set up our TL, right? We're going to call it timeline, just like we did in the over in our nav bar. I mean, it worked out there, so I don't see why not. And that's GSAP timeline. You guys can almost go copy and paste this from the nav. Not a whole hell of a lot difference. I mean, I might as well put in a pause now. I'm sure you guys have come along. If you're just popping in, you probably want to go back and do everything else. We know that was true, so that when the page first loads, nothing happens. It's in our from position, and then we'll go to it when a button's clicked. So when the page loads without this, it's just going to start. And we don't even have our on clicks in there, but we'll do that. So next, let's put our use effect in there. Then we'll drop our hooks. All right, we get our hook in there, and that's just going to be, and that is a function that returns here. Now, if you guys recall, normally when you use this, you do want an array for your dependencies and all that stuff, but GSAP will kick us a problem with that. We're not going to worry about a timeline. Let's get in here and do, well, what do we need? We need an on-click, right? It's something to get this whole damn thing started, right? Otherwise, it's just, there's no fun in it. What am I doing here? All right, and well, what are we going to do? We're going to do, first one's going to be reverse. Trying to rewind that, but that isn't going to happen. What the hell am I thinking here? What am I doing here? Oh my goodness, God almighty. This is a function that returns, and then we gotta go our timeline to reverse, and jeez, reverse, and that is the method. Timeline reverse. Why am I getting an error here? Close. I got my on click. I got my brackets, right? I got my brackets. I got that. I don't have all my shit though. I got that. Equals. Yeah, I got my timeline reverse. What the hell is going on here? I'm missing something I'm not seeing. You guys probably see it. Well, either way, let me get this down here. It doesn't take all of this. Put it here. Well, obviously there's a problem in that. Paste that. And I cut it, so let's paste it again up there. This one we're gonna do, this is gonna be on my play. And then let me figure out what the hell is going on here. Boom, boom, boom. Well, this isn't going to help me, is it? No. Okay, here we go. Now we're good. All right, so we got our... Sheesh. All right, we got our timeline reverse, timeline play. All right, so we got our click events, and what the hell's going on with this one now? Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm losing my mind. Well, you don't need that part. All right, there we go. That's what you get for copying and pasting. All right, so now we got our button on the close me. It will play in reverse. It will go back up on play because it's then pause now at its state with it where we're going to hide it. When we click on play, the timeline will play. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, what happens? Let's take a quick look at it. When we open it, the grid opens, right? That happens first, right? That's the first thing that's going to happen. So, well, what do you think we should do? Think we should animate the cards first, or maybe the grids? Makes sense to me that we're going to go timeline from, because don't forget, just like if you remember in our nav bar, we want to go from to where we have it hard coded, where we position in our CSS. So we're going to go from. So we're saying we're starting here, and we go to. You understand? So from to. It's a little confusing. I understand that. Well, next what we want to do is you want to pick what element it is, and well, it's going to be the grid, right? And you just put in the class name. Make sure you get your comma. Here you put your duration. This has since actually I started this has since been deprecated. Now you just put duration down here and that, but I'm just going to do it the way it is. Now what are we doing? We're going from a height of 0 to wherever we positioned it, and that's the only thing that's happening to that grid, correct? So, well, you got it. Height, we'll go from 0, and then just put an ease on it. And that, I guess you could use, what did we use before? We used expo.out. And camel case out. And I think that's it for that. That is that. And then, well, what's the next one we're going to do? We might as well put the dot from. What? I don't even need timeline because they're chained. Just do a dot from. Well, what's going to be next? It comes down, and then what happens? Cards come in. And what do we got? We got 3 things that happen, right? The opacity goes from, we're going to have the opacity go from 0 to 1, which is, doesn't need to be stated. It's understood to be 1. And then what else? We have movement on the x-axis, right? So as they're coming in on the x-axis, so we got opacity, we got x, and they don't all come in at once. There's a little bit of a stagger. So we got opacity, x, and stagger. So let's get our thing, do that. We'll do 0.75. Enter, and what I said, we got opacity, and we're coming from 0 and going to, well, it doesn't need to be said. Our x, what are we doing? Well, you can do whatever you want here. I know what I did. I did about 50 pixels. Maybe you want a little more movement, put 75. And for stagger, I got to look. I don't remember what I did. It did it pretty quick, probably half a second. No, not even. Wow. 0.5. Okay, so what do we have now? We got the grid opens up. Takes about a half a second. That drops down, and then our cards start going from invisible, opacity of nothing, slowly fading into, not fading in, fading in to full opacity, sliding over from the X, so they're coming in on the X and they're staggered, so they're not all going at the same time. Now, as far as this is the exact same thing we did. We only want to show one button at a time, and when we click on it, we want it to morph over to the other one. We want it to display none at the exact same time the other one displays in. You understand? And let me go back over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about if you guys don't recall, because I know it's been a while, or if you just jumped in now. So we're doing this exact same thing, except for obviously we would have to change the name of the class. Well, yeah, might as well just copy it and bring it over. It's its own timeline, so we're not going to stagger it on that. All right, so what do we do? It's stuck in pause. So none of this is happening. So we know what's going to happen. It's going to go from something to where we're going, and all this stuff's going to happen from and to. Well, when we hit play, that's open, right? It's going to go in a very short period of time, 0.05. You can make it 0.01. I don't care what you do. It's going to go to none. So once you click on it, that pretty quickly is going to go to none, and there's a little bit of a delay. so that this happens all at the same time. This should always be the inverse of that, with a negative in front of it if you want things to happen at about the same time with a little bit of a gap. And then, right when this disappears to none, this is going to go from displaying none, because it's not going to be there, to being there, to displaying, right? Because we have it down here. We didn't put none on button, so that's going to show. So the close button's going from not displaying to showing, and our open button's going from displaying to display none. Hope that makes sense. And if not, dick around with it, switch them around, you'll see it all makes sense. And I think that's it as far as, did we do yet? We got that, we got that. So, well, let's cross our fingers and see what happens. Close, okay, show, boom, show. Show, opens, they come down, they all stagger in. That goes over to close. It probably could happen a little bit faster. Let's try it one more time. No, that's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. I mean, that works. And show. Alright, so, well, what do we... Well, that's not ours. So, and of course, what the world is going on here? Huh. That's my timeline. I got that, I got that, I got this, I got that. I got my hot clicks. What be the problem there, Captain? Well, better come. Check out our terminal. See what is going on. Says everything is fine. TL is assigned a value but never used. TL. Assigned a value but is never used. Is it here? Is it here? So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Timeline reverse. I had that. We got that. Okay, open, close. What? Oh, I know what we forgot to do. Duh. Even though I said it. That's why you do not copy and paste. Do not copy and paste. Alright, now I'm positive that this will work out. And of course I got GSAP, so we got to redo it. Okay, now we're talking. Jesus, heaven almighty. Maybe I'm acting like I did have 3 of those Sazeracs. Okay. It's hilarious. I'm using the one that's done and thinking it's done. Alright, so what are we missing now? We're just missing the top. Okay. We'll go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit close. Yeah, that happens pretty quick. Alright. So, that's the way we wrote it up. Apologize for that. Being retarded. Now, well, the only thing we got to do is, well, let's take a look at it. We got this here. And we already know what that's going to be. We're going to use animate on scroll for that. So that's a header, this and that. Well, you know what? I need something anyway. So let me do it this way. I mean, you can just put in an H1 and wrap it with a your scroll animation. Animate on scroll. What I'm going to do is, because I already got another one, I'm just going to take this, copy this, out of my bag of tricks. I might as well make a utility, because I'm going to be using one later. And let me paste this sucker in there, title 2, and because I got the scroll animation on it. Alright, well, make this, because you can use this all the time, because you can always change as far as for a title as animation, and just save it in one of your libraries that you can use over and over, like I'm going to do right now. And it happens to have rubber band in it too. And if you go over to CSS animate, there's a million different things you can do. Animate in. So what do we have? We need a title. Because again, I use this in different places. This is a section title. You need the title, which could be the happy hour, and paragraph, which could be the day or the hours. I forget what it says on there. Sunday through Friday. So that looks like this will work for me. So what are you going to do? Again, it's a styled component. So just bring in your RAFCE, import styled. Or like I say, you can just take the H1 and the paragraph, stick it back on the happy hour page and wrap it in a scroll animation. It's going to work the exact same way. I'm just having to use this because I'm going to be using this a little bit later this afternoon anyway. So you got a title. Make sure you're passing them. Pass your props. Title 2, section title 2. Well, what is it? Well, you got to just put that 94, comes in on the side, and all it is the CSS font size, padding, Nothing else. And media query. I guess we'll see if that media query works. Well, what are we gonna do? Might as well let's import it. Import. What did I call it? I don't remember what the hell it is. Section title 2. Utilities. Tab that over. Section title 2, which is different than section title 1. All right. Well, what are we gonna do? I never knew what you'd say to you. Hang on, I gotta change this goddamn music. It's driving me crazy. Little lo-fi. Well, we'll do it in the middle. Alright, well, what do we got? Well, what did we need? We had, I think it was title. I'll check it in a second because I'm not even sure. And I forget what that we had for props. Title and what? Paragraph? Paragraph. All right. And title, we're doing happy hour. I don't remember. Is that all caps? I should know all this. Happy hour, no. And Sunday is in no caps. You can do whatever, however you'd like. The hour, we're going Sunday through Friday. We'll space that a little bit. And obviously we're going to close it. Double check this real quick. Sunday through Friday, that is correct. There it goes. And another thing on this, it should have, well, it doesn't. Let me just point this out one more time. And of course, that's all screwy. Ours looks like a madhouse. So we'll fix that in a second. And let me just see if the animation's working. Bung. And is it happening off and on? Okay, yeah. So what you guys want to do is on here, it's going to happen every time you come in and out of the... This animation is going to happen every time the user comes in and out, whether they scroll back. It's going to keep on happening. It doesn't go down far enough to do it, but it's going to keep triggering that animation. So what you want to do is, if you guys recall, over here where we have it, you want to put on here, animate once. And that will stop that peculiar behavior from happening. And animate once, we'll put true. And now, I'm going to fix that button. That's driving me crazy. Let's see if I fix that. There's one. Yeah, okay. Now, let's see what's going on here with our button. Let's take a look here. See what am I doing here? I love looking for dumb shit like this. Close. And let me just figure out it's only on a close. Let me take a look here. You know what? It's just because I didn't refresh the page after we did the GSAP. Sometimes when you're putting GSAP in things, you just want to refresh the page after everything's done. Okay, here we go. So it is working as we did it. You know what? It skips. I don't know if it's because I'm running all that shit in the background on my computer or not, because I don't remember ever doing this. And now it's not. Yeah, it's only when my computer makes noise. Let me know, somebody in the comments, if you're going along with this, if every now and then you're getting at a jump. I know if you go to close before the animation finishes, you get it. Alright, now it seems to be alright. Okay, well, that's that, man. So, let's see where we stand. So far, we got our overlay. Goes up. We got our animations on our menu. That looks just the way we wrote it up. Got this going on, little movement. We got our happy hour. Trying to figure out what to do next. Come over here. We got our slider. Well, we might as well finish this page. Just keep going on the home page. What we'll do is I'll show you guys how to set up something on Wistia, so you get free hosting. That's hell of a lot faster than using Vimeo or YouTube. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Sorry about that. An off day. Hilarious. I thought this was the one that was done. I'm like, yeah, just the way we did it. And then I checked mine, and nothing was happening. But anyway, well, we got ourselves out of trouble. Got ourselves out of a jam. And I will see you guys on the other side. Take it easy.